it's Reviews Day Tuesday. I have a lot to talk about today, so I've got a nice little book haul as well as the review I'm going to do. This is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a 1979 edition, so the original cover, which is really cool. It's falling apart a little bit, but I found it at a charity shop, so. By Douglas Adams, and it is a book that's based on a radio play that was a screenplay that is now a film. So I was recommended this book by a friend, and then I picked it up eventually, and I've read it recently, and it's a really, really nice book. So I thought I would review it, yes. So it's a really interesting book. It's got loads of clever and witty things in it. The whole book is really intelligently written and really fun. It's not difficult though, and all the characters are very well developed. Everything about it is really nice. It doesn't get too confusing or too boring in places. It's always very exciting and fun. It had a lot of action as well as a lot of backstory, and I just really enjoyed the whole thing. I put it as 4 out of 5 stars, but I'm not really sure that was the right thing to do. I don't know. And I also watched the film yesterday, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed that too. It does have a different ending, so be aware if you're a really big fan of the books and you want to go and watch the film. About a man called Arthur Dent who hitchhikes around the galaxy. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is all of these books. I have recently moved house, so me and a good friend of mine went to buy some books because I didn't bring enough with me, obviously. So I went to some charity shops and some pretty cheap bookshops and just went for it. So these first 2 books are books that I bought in The Works, which is a really awful place to buy books from, and I'm aware, but this is the Registrar's Manual for Detecting Forced Marriages, and it just looked like quite an interesting non-fiction book. If you have read it or you know anything about it, please comment below because I haven't heard anything about it. The other book that I bought was the collected stories of Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas is one of my favourite authors. I really love his plays, so I thought I could read a few of his stories, and this is an edition that I really love. I wanted the hardback editions, but I just couldn't afford them, so I waited till it came out in paperback, and here it is. I think they're really pretty, and they're all different colours and stuff, and it's so nice. These next 2 books I got from 2 separate charity shops, but they're by the same person. I was drawn in by all of these cool designs and the way they use sort of silver in bits. I'm not really sure how to pronounce them, but they are travel writing, so I'm really excited. I'm kind of hoping they have a bit of a fun story to them, but if not, they'll still be nice. So I paid a couple quid each for these, and then I found out that one of them was even signed, which is really cool. Great find, Ellie. Yeah! The next book that I have is Pigeon English. I'm not sure about this book, but I think I've heard good things about it. The next 2 books I bought from W.H. Smith's, which again, a bad place to buy books from, but they had a really good offer on, so just couldn't refuse. These aren't particularly books that I think I would read, but I bought them with my flatmates in mind. I don't know. I got How to Love and The Way Things Look to Me, so maybe I'll read these at some point. Another book that I bought in a charity shop is Eat, Shoots and Leaves, which is like an anecdote-y book about punctuation. I just thought it would be an interesting book, and for £1 you can't really go wrong. The next book is The Tender Little Wolves, which I've heard great things about, and I'm really looking forward to reading it, maybe next year when I'm reading some slightly more chunky books. And it just looks really interesting, and a few people even commented when I said I bought new books and showed them that it's actually a really good book, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading it now. I bought some Alan Bennett. I really like Alan Bennett's stories, and I read his book The Uncommon Reader a few months back, and I thought that was a really fun book, so I'm looking forward to reading a little bit more of his short stories. The last book that I have today is The Sense of an Ending, which is a really beautiful book. I found this in a charity shop. It's the Man Booker 2011. But Julian Barnes, and it's a really great book, and it's so pretty. I'm probably going to be reviewing this very soon. I'm really excited to finish it, and shortly after I found this copy of it, my roommate found a hardback copy of it, so we all have pretty books. And that is the end of this Reviews Day Tuesday. If you want to watch last week's episode, you can click here. It was a fun episode. If you want to go into the description and see more of my reviews, you can see my Goodreads account, my Twitter account, and my Tumblr if you fancy following me at any of those places.